Carnation Love Chapter 15. The search begins. 3 long and anxious days had passed since Princess Alara's mysterious disappearance. The kingdom of Viridian remained in a state of turmoil, and the palace was filled with a heavy silence that mirrored the unease felt by its inhabitants. As the days turned into nights, and there was still no sign of the missing princess, Prince Alistair's heart ached with worry and longing. He knew that he had to act to find his bride and bring her back safely. With a heavy heart, he approached the king, seeking permission to launch a search for his beloved princess. The king, though torn by the situation, understood the urgency of the matter. He granted Prince Alistair permission to embark on a search for Princess Alara and, given the circumstances, the king hoped this would strengthen their bond. Prince Alistair knew that finding the princess might be a challenging task, and he was determined to leave no stone unturned. He was aware that if he found the princess, he would likely find Leo as well, as the two had a deep connection. News of the princess's disappearance also reached Leo's ears, who was living on the outskirts of the kingdom. His heart was heavy with concern for the woman he loved, and he knew that he couldn't stand by idly while she was in trouble. Leo decided to join the search for Princess Alara, despite the risks and the difficult circumstances. He believed that if he could find the princess, he might be able to protect her from the dangers that might lurk during her journey. As the kingdom of Viridian grappled with uncertainty, and as the search for Princess Alara began, the fate of the princess, Prince Alistair, and Leo was now inextricably linked. The journey to find the missing princess would be filled with challenges and revelations, as love, duty, and destiny intertwined in a complex web. Chapter 16. A dangerous encounter. As Princess Alara wandered through the woods, trying to escape the palace and the marriage she did not desire, her path took an unexpected and perilous turn. Unbeknownst to her, the dense forest concealed a group of barbarians who had long held a deep resentment toward her father, the king of Viridian. They had been banished from the kingdom for their lawless ways, and their hatred for the royal family ran deep. While she was lost in thought and far from the palace, the barbarians spotted her. One of them remarked, "Woo, what a beautiful girl. I wonder what she's doing out here alone in these woods." Another chimed in, "She looks as princess-like as they come, doesn't she?" A third barbarian whispered, "And she smells royal." The barbarians were captivated by the sight of Princess Alara, whom they did not recognize as the princess, as they had been banished from the kingdom long before her birth. They saw an opportunity to gain something of value, even if they didn't yet know the true identity of their captive. Panicked and fearing for her life, Alara knew she had to hide her true identity. She quickly disclosed herself as a humble cook from the market, hoping that this lie would protect her from the barbarians' anger and resentment towards the king. She knew that revealing her true identity might lead to her being used as a pawn against her father. In her guise as a commoner, Alara hoped to blend in and gain the barbarians' trust. Her knowledge of cooking and her ability to prepare a simple meal became her greatest asset in this perilous situation. As the days turned into weeks, Princess Alara's life took a dangerous turn in the hands of the barbarians. The secret of her true identity, and her desperate hope of returning to the palace and to Leo, remained hidden as she tried to navigate the challenges of her captivity. The kingdom of Viridian, unaware of her plight, continued its frantic search for the missing princess, with Prince Alistair leading the way and swearing, saying, "This beggar boy shall feel the blade of my sword if he causes any harm to come to my princess and future bride." But little did he know that Leo was nowhere near the princess and was also in search of her. Chapter 17. A fateful encounter. As Leo tirelessly combed both the inner and outer skirts of the city in search of Princess Alara, he had no idea that his determined efforts had caught the attention of the palace guards. One vigilant soldier spotted him and immediately sounded the alarm. The news of Leo's presence in the city quickly spread, prompting a reaction from the guards who had been searching for the princess. The guards, determined to capture Leo, initiated a chase that tore through the bustling streets of the city. Leo, with a deep sense of urgency and purpose, navigated the maze-like market, weaving through the throngs of people, hoping to evade his pursuers. The whispers of the crowd were both curious and judgmental, as they recognized him as the princess's lover, the beggar boy who had been banished from the palace. Amid the chaos, Leo found himself cornered by 4 guards in the heart of the market. The tension was palpable, and he knew that he had to act swiftly. With a voice filled with desperation, he cried out, "Yes, it's me." His hope was that the onlookers, who knew him as one of their own, would come to his aid. To his relief, the people in the market, many of whom remembered Leo's kind heart and the help he had offered them, stepped in to protect him. They formed a human barrier between Leo and the advancing guards, and their support for the beggar boy was loud and clear. The crowd's perception had shifted, understanding that if Leo gained a position in the kingdom, he might be able to bring positive change to their lives. In that moment, their loyalty to him was unwavering, and they demonstrated their support by preventing the guards from capturing Leo. Just as Leo seemed to have evaded his pursuers, he turned a corner and found himself face to face with none other than Prince Alistair, who had been searching for Princess Alara. The 2 men, locked in a tense and unexpected encounter, and the prince asked, "You beggar boy, where is my bride?" But as Leo was about to respond, the prince said, "You beggar boy, you dare try to speak to me. Today is the day you die," and attacked him.